MCI and Nvidia. I want you guys to understand that the market is a baby. Like, the market is just a greedy freaking baby. At all points, especially if there is uncertainty, you're going to see an overreaction. We never see the market react accordingly. Now, there are times like this with SMCI where there are fundamental reasons for a company to actually break out like this. There are other times where it's just greed that is causing this to continue to push its way up. And I think that there's a big mix of both of them here. Now, the only thing I want to go over in this video is going to be, should we be shorting this? And what could be a sign of shorting it? The first thing I want you to notice is that since we broke over this resistance period here of about $300, we have not had multiple consecutive days of downtrending price action. That's the first sign. Okay, we had a couple of these pullbacks here, but we never closed multiple red candles in a row. Okay, looking at Mara, for instance, this is not a negative pullback. This, where we have this massive pullback, consolidation, and we hold. We have not seen that yet with SMCI. So in order for me to actually say, I'm going to go ahead and get puts on SMCI, or I would even think about getting puts on SMCI, in order for that to happen, we need to have multiple red candles taking out lower lows, and we have to see some serious weakness. Until then, you're just burning your money away, because you cannot say that, and this is going to hurt a lot of people, but your entry requirement cannot be that something is overvalued or that it has to come down. The reason I say that is that shit that I told myself every single time that I would go against the market 5-6 years ago and lose my ass. Every single time. There's this weird way that we view the market when we come into it as retail traders. I would say the truth, including myself, maybe it's just me, you guys can let me know, but the truth is most retail traders come from pretty poor backgrounds, right? And when you come from a poor background, you have this mindset that you need to get something at a discount, like to the point where you will buy shit, including myself, that we don't even need just because it's a discount. And so it's very odd, but when you really look at the market, you shouldn't be buying things at a massive discount from a trading perspective, I'll say. Because in most cases, that is trading at a massive discount for a fundamental reason, okay? If we're looking at a stock like UCO or something, and this thing's doing nothing but downtrending before we had this pop, what makes it have to actually reverse the trend other than it's oversold? Nothing. There are so many companies out there that will just eternally downtrend and then eventually go bankrupt. So there's this thought process that we have to get something that's not even over or undervalued, but just something that's a deal. And so when you look at something like SMCI and you see this breakout happening, most individuals will say, well, dude, there's no way I'm going long. Why would I go long when it's so overvalued? Well, the reason we're going long is because that's where the money is, right? We've had this consolidation period for so long, and now we have this massive expansion. They're obviously buying into it. Don't try to short it, right? Trade what's in front of you, not what should happen. And when I was able to actually stop trying to buy stocks extremely undervalued, right? Something that was beaten to shit, which I'm not saying you can't make money that way. Of course you can. And when I stopped trying to find the top, I started making money. I started doing it consistently. And when I started just following the trend, shit started clicking. And I realized big money's not trying to sit there and time this top on SMCI. You don't have all these hedge funds that are sitting there buying hundreds of millions of dollars worth of puts to go against SMCI. These people are actually holding their shares, right? The shares that they have accumulated, because they're not like us, right? These are people who have accumulated shares between 357 and 200. This is their expansion. This is when they're allowing this to fucking run. And they're allowing all of retail to just buy into the strength so that they can start to cover their positions from back here and let everyone get stuck. Now, when is that going to happen? I have no idea. And we don't even have to actually short this, right? A lot of people are saying, like, dude, there's a short of a lifetime. Potentially. But, like, we could just find some stocks that are actually trending in the direction that we want and just take a lot of the headache off. So we'll continue to monitor this, but I wouldn't even look at going short here until we actually show some weakness. Looking at NVIDIA, it's the same exact thing. They were accumulating shares between 500 and accumulating shares between 400. You know, the Pelosi herself accumulating options and buying a ton down there. So if they were accumulating options, right, Pelosi and the gang, they're not going to be selling here. They're waiting. They're letting this continue to push. And if we look here, the same situation that happened with SMCI, we have not seen since this breakout consecutive closes, taking out lows. Nothing at all. Still long. For how long? I have no idea. But we can't prematurely decide on when there's going to be weakness. We have to actually wait for the confirmation of weakness to happen. Which I know for a lot of people, it's not fun. But still, let this thing continue to run. At some point, the top will happen. And if there's a good setup there and a good position, we'll fucking take it.